relationships, family, friends, those things are important. And I think more than anything, what Vietnam taught me, and having served in Vietnam and having lost friends, is relationships are much more important than stuff and things.
When you first came to a base, you got sent to every ward, every shift. And so that night I was on the amputee ward, 11 to 7. And I was making my rounds and I came upon this man, young boy, you know, he's 19. And I said, after I took care of what I needed to do medically, I said, "How are you doing?" He said, "I don't know, Lieutenant Chief, I just can't get comfortable." And I thought, here's a man who had to lie on his stomach, triple amputee, the skin grafts off his back. And that memory never leaves me. That's my...
I love my university. It was a great place to go to school, but it wasn't a good place to be in the military veteran. And I would never mention I had anywhere be near Vietnam. In fact, one of the stories I always tell is if I was ever out party or someplace like that, we had short hair. All right? No one had short hair back then. We didn't have beards. We weren't allowed to have beards. So people would ask me, "What's with the short hair?" And if I told them I had just gotten out of prison, that was cool. "Oh, the man had you, huh?" Yeah, but I dare not say that I had just gotten out of the military, much less Vietnam. So,
up in your mosquito net and all this, so the mosquitoes wouldn't eat you up and this and that. And then naturally here, incoming, 88 rounds. I mean, and I think I discovered that night something about fear. If you're by yourself, fear will jump on you hard. Because if there's somebody else around, you'll try to hide your fear from your friends. But by yourself, ain't nobody to hide it from.
I got there in September of '67. In January of '68 was the Tet Offensive. When I first got there, we put on civilian clothes and went into town for lunch. And I remember writing home to Mother and Daddy and saying, "I don't know what the big deal is about this." When the Tet Offensive happened, it got crazy.
The sailors all went there, and I saw this Marine in his full dress blues. And would you believe, 2 sailors had the audacity to come out and try to fight him. And what he did, he impressed me so much. He took off his hat, peeled his gloves off, had a swagger stick, set it down, and commenced to just flip him over a couple of times, put his hat back on, gloves back on, walked off. I said, I got to be one of them. And that's a true story.
When I came back from Vietnam, and I went back to Pittsburgh, PA, that was my hometown. I was home for R&R leave. I was home for leave after I came back from Vietnam. You would have thought that I was the Pope. Because when I got off that plane, I kissed the ground because I know what we have here. Any day, you could get killed over there. But here, you have the safety. So for young people to go off and see like how do people live in Africa, how they live in Vietnam, or how they live in Cambodia, to come back here, they'll understand it. It's still being understood today because I see more people trying to get into this country than to leave this country. This country is the greatest country that there is. So.